Welcome to Philadelphia, Kyle Schwarber! Yo, what is going on, everybody? Welcome to Phillies Hat Stove Media, and today I'm going to be talking about the Phillies signing free agent left fielder Kyle Schwarber to a 4-year, $79 million contract, so the Phillies get their guy. Welcome to Philadelphia. And I guess before getting into this video, please subscribe if you have not yet. Please share the notification bell. Please like this video, comment on this video, share this video, and let's get into this. So welcome to Philadelphia. Kyle Schwarber. So Schwarber is a Philadelphia Philly. So 4 years, $79 million. This is a really, really good signing. So the Phillies get their leadoff hitter. I do believe that Schwarber will probably hit leadoff, and I love this. I just love this. This is a guy that doesn't really hit for the highest average. We all know that. I mean, around the 240s. He doesn't really typically hit for the highest average. He did hit over 260 in 2021 by far. Well, 2019 was pretty good for him too, but 2019, 2021, probably the best 2 years that Kyle Schwarber has had. I would consider 2021 to be a better year than he had in 2019, but this is just awesome, man. I love this. Of course, he's a terrible defender, but what he could do at the plate is something unbelievable. Something unbelievable. This is a guy that's going to hit absolute tanks. He's going to get on base for you a great amount. As I said, the Phillies have found their leadoff hitter, which I just love. I just love. The whole offseason, or you want to call it the whole lockout, we just kept fantasizing over Kyle Schwarber, and we had to keep reminding ourselves that he was not a Philly yet. He just seemed like a Philly. He seemed like a guy that the Phillies were going to go head over heels for, and sure enough, they get their guy, and the nice thing is the AAV under $20 million a year. So that's one thing. I mean, they have some flexibility here with this contract. As I said before, you're going to have to worry about him out in left field. He's not a good defender at all. He's not a good defender at all. Terrible defender. But we play in a small ballpark, so he doesn't have to cover a huge amount of ground. You got a double in center now. He's got some speed. Harper covers great ground in right field. Philadelphia Phillies team, not a good defensive ball club. Let's talk a little bit about what Kyle Schwarber brings to the table. A near 400 on base percentage. He had a 374 on base percentage in 2021, so 26 points shy of that 400 on base percentage. And he's definitely going to rank up the extra base hits. He's slugging percentage at 5.54 and a 266 average. As I said, did hit over 260 in 2021. Was just an absolute monster in June. It seemed like every day he was hitting a home run. This guy was going crazy with the Washington Nationals. Has that really unfortunate injury. Then he gets traded over to the Boston Red Sox, and he was unbelievable in the postseason. This guy was just hitting tanks and just going off, man. I mean, this is just a great addition. I talked about it, I believe, in December or January, why Kyle Schwarber would be a great fit for this Phillies team, and as I said, it just all made sense. He just seemed like a Phil, and he just seemed like a guy that the Phillies were really going to go after, and his market kind of got weak in the end, and it seemed like the Blue Jays were really looking at him, and then, of course, they got Matt Chapman today, and a trade with the Oakland Athletics, they kind of were out on Kyle Schwarber. And this is a really, really underrated move. Everyone wants to keep saying, oh, well, the guy only hits 240. This guy has a great eye. This guy can get on base. Of course, is he going to be the guy that's going to go out there and, hit for a high average for? We have guys like that. So we have Gene Segura, the guy that has the potential to hit over 300. Bryce Harper, who hit 308 in 2021. So we have guys on this team that will bat 300. We don't need a guy that's going to hit for a super high average. It's okay if he bats around 250. This as long as his OBP sits around, 380 or so. And that's just perfectly all right. If he hits over 30 home runs, which he's probably going to do, assuming he stays healthy. Yes, I know he's had some injury problems in his career, but this really, really solves a big problem in our outfield. So the left field spot is done. So we found our left fielder, and I think you're going to see Schwarber get some time, in left field, at DH. I think you're going to see him flip back and forth. And Alec Boehm, of course, is supposed to be the primary DH, but you're definitely going to see Schwarber get some time in there because of his really, really bad defense. I think it's a win-win for both sides. This is what I think Schwarber's probably worth, and, it seems like a win-win for both sides. It seemed like he was pretty motivated to get this deal done, and it kind of just happened all quick, right? You saw the report that they were really working on it this morning, and then, like, 15 minutes later, bam! Jim Salisbury, at least what I saw, broke the news. Phillies in agreement with free agent left fielder Kyle Schwarber. Definitely an exciting report to see light up on your screen. He had a 3.1 WAR in 2021. So definitely not bad at all. Definitely not bad at all. But you go take a look at 2020. I mean, it's hard to go take a look at that. A year where he hit only 188, had a 0.4 WAR. Not very good there. You can't really look at the 2020 season too much. As I said before, you go back and take a look at the seasons like, 2019, 2018. 2019, a year where he hit 38 home runs, was just an absolute monster that year, driven 92 runs, and even in 2018, 26 homers, 61 RBI, and a 3.2 WAR. Definitely, pretty solid numbers. These are pretty solid numbers. Is this guy, one of the best outfilders in the league? Absolutely not. Of course he's not. But this is a well above average pickup. This is really going to help this Phillies team offensively. They found their leadoff hitter, at least in my opinion. It seems weird, but this guy does well in the leadoff spot. He gets on base a good amount. Of course, he doesn't run very well. But I just love this man. I just love this pickup, assuming he can stay healthy. As I said, he's had some injury problems in the past. But now I think it's time to talk a little bit about Chris Bryant. You heard the reports that Bryce Harper is advocating for the Phillies to get Chris Bryant. Pushing. And it seems like his market's kind of weak, right? I mean, the Colorado Rockies, are we afraid of the Colorado Rockies? No, we are not. But now with the new CBA, and with the owners, having more incentive to spend, that's why they didn't want to have, the high CBT, because they'd be kind of forced to spend money. John Middleton is restricting Dave Dombrowski to not go over the tax, and the Phillies are just $10 million shy of going over the tax. And of course, John Middleton doesn't want to pay the tax. So I think it's going to be, in my opinion, kind of a long shot the Phillies get KB. I don't really see that happening. It's disappointing because the market for him, as I said, is very, very weak. The Seattle Mariners made a trade with the Cincinnati Reds for Jesse Winker and Emilio Suarez. The Toronto Blue Jays made a trade with the Oakland Athletics for Matt Chapman. So his market is collapsing all around him. I do not see him going back to San Francisco, especially after the San Francisco Giants went out and made another addition to their starting staff with Carlos Rondon. He still fits the Cubs, but they just went out and signed Seiya Suzuki today. So I think that makes it even more unlikely than it was. So Chris Bryant, where is he going to go? Because now the Phillies, of course, they better not be done with the bullpen. But I still think maybe they could be on KB. If the price is right, maybe Middleton does allow Dombrowski to go over the tax. But I was really criticizing Dave Dombrowski this week. I said, he just passes on so many good, reliable arms, like Kendall Graveman. Why in the world do you let him go to the Chicago White Sox like that? I mean, why? I don't understand it. I just don't get it. We let Aaron Luke go to the LA Angels. So disgraceful. I mean, how in the world do you not tap in on the smart horse Kenley Jansen, a name that's still out there? It's not time to, write him off just yet, but it's not looking good. In fact, you let those names go is very disappointing. Time to talk about some bullpen signings. Phillies signed right-handed pitcher Jerry Familia to a 1-year, $6 million contract. I'm not really that impressed with that. I'm really not. I mean, $6 million for this guy? I mean, come on. I just think that's kind of an overpay. You go take a look at what he did in 2015 and 2016. 94 saves, 2.20 ERA, and a 2.56 FIP. Which is very, very good. I mean, those are great numbers right there. You go take a look at what he's done the past 3 seasons. 2019 through 2021, 4.62 ERA, and a 4.69 FIP. Not following it up too well. Of course, we all know he's had his problems off the field. We all know, not very good. I don't really like that. I don't really like to have a guy like that on my team. But anyway, and also what he's done on the field. He's battled some injuries. He's just not been good. This is another washed up signing by Dombrowski. I'm not a fan of it. I'm just not a fan of it. This is another cheapie. I call it another cheapie. And we let Hector go for this. This was what Jack Fritz said. He just tweeted out when the Jerry's Familia news broke. He just tweeted out, said, and we let Hector go for this. And that's exactly what I thought. I mean, Hector, he was not good as a closer. We all know that. But he was good as a setup man. He should have kept him around for that. I don't get it. I'm just giving up. I'm trying to think about what Dave Dombrowski is thinking. But I think he's being restricted heavily. I think that report this week about Middleton restricting Dombrowski is very, very telling. It should be very, very telling to you. You know what it tells me is that our owner doesn't want to go above and beyond to win. I was on the phone with Dylan, a friend of the Pond Phillies updates, and we were talking. I made a great point to him on the phone. He loved it. And literally, think about it. The only reason why we have, and of course, we do have some pretty nice names on this team with Remuto, Harper, Wheeler, but the only reason why we have JT Muto was to lure Bryce Harper here. We got Bryce Harper here. Guess what? I mean, his jerseys flew off the shelf. They're still flying off the shelf. Ticket sales through the roof. It's all business. And guess who made money off of that? Mr. John Middleton made money off of that. Now, the Zach Wheeler signing, that was definitely a solid signing. No question about that. An underrated move. Of course, he's having his problems right now with the shoulder. Not going to be ready for opening day. Now he's got the flu. So not a good start for Zach Wheeler here in 2022. Not a good start for Mr. Zach Wheeler. Definitely disappointed to hear this news. Definitely not a good start for him. And then the Phillies went out and re-signed Odubel Herrera. We heard about that. So he is back. So I was really disappointed to hear that at first, but the market out there is just so weak. And he had like around 260. He was a little bit better. The strikeout percentage was a little bit lower in 2020. He's just so inconsistent. And then the Phillies went out and got their lefty in Brad Hand. So the Phillies get Brad Hand, 1 year, $6 million deal. So you play $6 million for Familia and Hand. I don't think either guy's worth $6 million if you want my opinion, but definitely not Jerry's Familia. That I can tell you. But Brad Hand, 1 year, $6 million. And he had a really just a disastrous ending to his Nationals career last season when he allowed that 3-run shot to McCutchen, who's now just signed with the Milwaukee Brewers. Best of luck to Kutch. I was at that game. He, blew the save. He was just awful in that game. And then they traded him to Toronto. He was so bad. An ERA like right around 10. Then they put him on waivers, and then the Mets claimed him. And then he actually did pretty well at the Mets in 16 games with a 2.70 ERA. So he settled down. Brad Hand settled down, and this is an underrated move. I mean, I was kind of negative talking about it here. I love this. I just love this move. This is a guy I was really pushing for on the 2020-2021 offseason for the Phillies to sign. They didn't do it. Of course, Mike Rizzo got him. But to now Dave Dombrowski, inks, Brad Hand. This is underrated. This is a sneaky move by Dave. I really like this move. This is definitely going to really help this bullpen if he can stay healthy, if he can be good. I mean, this guy's only 31. Think about this. This Brad Hand is only 31 years of age. So he's still, very young. You saw what he did with the Indians, the Padres. Of course, he was a member of the Marlins at one time. I'm definitely a fan of this. He posted a 3.59 ERA last season, settled down, and even like prior to him being traded away from the Nationals, of course, he did blow a lot of saves, especially against us. He wasn't awful, but right around when he was leaving Washington, he just blew up, and he was awful with the Blue Jays. I don't know what that was all about. And then went to the Mets. He settled down a lot. So the Phillies ink Brad Hand, 1 year, $6 million. So this is going to be a nice lefty out of the bullpen, a late inning guy, setup guy. We might see him get some closing opportunities sometimes. Hopefully, to stay healthy, please. Corey Knebel, apparently now they might make him the closer. I mean, who knows? But this bullpen still needs help. It's still not there yet. I think it was a mistake letting Hector go. As each day passes, it's more and more clear that letting him go was a mistake. I think he would have been a great in the setup role. You saw it after he was taken away from the closer's role. I mean, after like July 4th against the San Diego Padres last year in 2021, he really settled down in the setup role. He did. He was great to finish out the season. Then we let him go. The Houston Astros in a 2-year deal. Looking like a mistake. So I don't want to go too far back, but even letting Jose Alvarez go, that was also a mistake. Not here to talk about that. The Phillies get their guy, Kyle Schwarber. It's just a name that we all were thinking about during the lockout, and he just seemed like a Phil. So they finally make it happen. Not official just yet. 4 years, $79 million. Brad Hand, Jerry's Familia, and they also bring back Odubel Herrera. So that is it. Zach Wheeler, of course, very disappointing, as I said, with the shoulder and shoulder soreness and having the flu, and rough start for him. So guys, thanks so much for watching this video. Please subscribe if you have not yet. Please don't forget about. Please like this video, comment on this video, share this video. Check out the social media link in the description section. Phillies at Stove Media, Instagram, TikTok, Instagram. Call or text 267-225-3392. Email me. PhilliesHotStoveMedia@gmail.com. So I hope to see you before Friday night to recap the first game of spring training. I might or might not. I'm probably going to be going live on Saturday afternoon. That's the first televised game. They're only televising 9 spring training games this season. It's just such a joke. So guys, thanks so much for watching. I'm Luke, and I'll talk to you later. I'll see you guys.